Hi, this is Tom Searb right here I'm the producer and creator of the new series, Newport RI. And right now, we're in Newport Janier, which is the cave of D. Kenneth Janier, played by J. Daniel Knerr.
Exactement. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Okay, well, as we know, Daniel here is the executive chef at the Black Pearl. He's a reoccurring cast member of our series. And he's going to be playing the chef, D. Kenneth Janier, who is going to have his own little cooking show. Are you excited about that?
I am excited. It's my very first show.
Oh, it's your very first show, and it's not even, you're not even being yourself. Well, anyway, Cooking with Newport RI will be D. Kenneth Janier's television show, okay? Hosted by myself, and each show will have Daniel here cooking something for us, putting something together that D. Kenneth would cook. So I understand you've got something awesome that you're going to put together for us in the series.
Well, I had to think of something specifically for the Newport RI, something that would exemplify Newport, Rhode Island, New England, all of the above, have the sophistication. So I came up with this dish, Newport Wellington, which is a twist on a classic. Take a little piece of striped bass and sear it up, put some chopped lobster with some hot and some sour flavors. We have sorrel and we have harissa paste, which as you marry them together, sort of opposites attract. And the honeymoon becomes...
Sounds like a sad movie, sorrel and harissa paste.
These are great classic flavors of hot with a slight sweet mixed with an acidic sour, becoming a hot and sorrel, I call it, instead of hot and sour. Wrap it in puff pastry, serve it on champagne beurre blanc.
Oh, you got me on the puff pastry. I love the puff pastry idea.
You get no potato, just vegetables with that. Oh. We'll be serving in the Commodore's room at the Black Pearl.
Excellent. And this is going to be a reoccurring thing at the Black Pearl where you're going to have a Newport RI special dish.
Exactly. Whether it'll be once a month or every 6 weeks, but we'll change it up from time to time, and we'll have reoccurring dishes like reoccurring characters.
So explain to me what it was like to be a part of the Newportant People series with Bill Heydt. Explain that to me. How did that make you feel?
That was great. It was a number of years ago to be able to be a part of the Newportant 2. Was a great honor and a surprise, especially only being here 20-some years. Right. Married to a third-generation Newporter. Right. I've always been sort of the carpetbagger, so I was glad to become an honorary Newportant person officially in the book.
I'm thinking that and the fact that you've been at the Black Pearl, one of the greatly established restaurants here in Newport. Executive chef for 27 years. I think that's given you a stamp of approval.
Okay, well I'll take that.
So we're gonna go out. You're gonna cook us up this Newport Wellington.
Exactly.
Where did you get this idea? When did it come to you?
Well, actually, I was working out and I'm able to contemplate and be by myself. No phone, no TV, no radio, and I'm just clear head. And literally, it just, as you think of what kind of ingredients you need to create something unique but exemplifies Newport, and I just came up with the flavors, and then you layer them together, and came out with the Newport Wellington.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing this, and we're going to go out and visit with D. Kenneth Janier. This is Tom Searb in Newport Janier. See you in a moment. And here we are in the kitchen with D. Kenneth Janier, who is going to be cooking us this wonderful dish here on Newport RI, and cooking with, right?
Cooking with.
Okay, so you've put together, we've got our guest over here, which is Matthias Lupri, who happens to be one of the stars of Newport RI. So, Chef, I understand that you've put together this Newport RI dish that will be served at the Black Pearl, I understand.
It's a world premiere here today, created just for the event, just for the series. Using the best of Newport and Rhode Island and New England. We have striped bass with chopped lobster, with heat, with sweet, with sour, and wrapped in puff pastry, served on champagne beurre blanc. It's just a perfect natural blend of sophistication like Newport has with great flavors and natural ingredients just like.
So it's
the
got a bite to it. It's gonna
Newport
have a little bit of a bite to it.
Yeah, it's going to be a little hot and a little sour. It's going to be a little sweet and a little sour. The sour grass, or sorrel as it's called, is pureed, cooked in here, and then the harissa paste, which is an African blend of hot, is all going to be put together, which is perfect opposites attract, just like in love and marriage. And we're going to marry them together today and put it on the bass and wrap it in puff pastry and send it on a honeymoon to your mouth.
I can hardly wait. So let's start the marriage here. What's going on here?
Okay. Well, first of all, you get a fillet of bass or
That's
halibut
not just
or,
a fillet of bass. That's a big piece of bass.
It is. It is. And this is what you want. You want to have a nice thick piece. Use these pieces up in here, or with shoulder pieces, because you want it to be uniform for uniform cooking. So you season it all the way around, and you're going to sear this just a little bit. You're not actually cooking this, but you want to sear it up just to lock in the flavor, lock in the moisture before you put the topping and the wrapping.
Matthias, can you smell that?
Oh, I love it.
Oh man,
Yeah, it's good.
you a cook?
Once in a while.
Once in a while?
Yeah, I'm getting better. Is it basil or basil?
Is it sorrel or sorrel? Is it pajama or pajama?
I don't know. It depends
what
on
you
your,
want.
I guess. All right, so you're going to sear this.
So this is seared on all. You can get a little bit of color, that's fine, because any color means caramelization, which is cooking the natural sugars and turning them caramel. The difference of flavor is amazing. So a little caramel is good. Take the chopped lobster again. If you need a little more heat, you can put it. But this is a blend, what I consider, of a balanced proportion. Then you're going to take puff pastry, and you're going to have to turn it upside down,
Oh, I see. Okay, upside down.
because you want the nice side
Right.
to be served
Absolutely.
up. And you just take a little bit of glue,
Right.
in this case egg yolk,
So egg yolk acts as a glue.
acts as a glue
I
and,
didn't know that.
and a glaze. In
Absolutely.
this situation
I
is
did not know that.
yeah. And we're going to take this. Whoop, my turbo pepper
Your
getting in
turbo
the way.
pepper. We
Now these are scraps of puff pastry that you rolled up and just cut into, little leaves.
yeah, it makes it look like a little flower there.
Yeah.
Yeah, very creative.
And we're going to put this in the oven,
Yeah.
and this is going to be at 400 degrees, 425, depending on how good or not your oven is.
Right.
And about 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay.
All right. And while we're doing that, we'll make a little sauce, the champagne beurre blanc.
Okay. It's a champagne. It's a like a glaze, or it's a, like
Well, we're going to use champagne vinegar. We can get this started. 50-50. Half, just like in the topping of the lobster, you got sweet and you got sour,
Right.
or acid. Acid in the vinegar and sweetness in the natural sugars of the wine. So 50-50, again, opposites attracting. A little bit of shallot.
That's a big shallot.
That's a big shallot. You're not going to have to fuss with it too much as far as uniformity. The reason why you want it to be uniform in this situation is because you want it to cook uniformly
Right.
and evenly, but you're going to pass this out through a sieve. So you won't be looking
Right.
at any inconsistencies.
Awesome.
So when that reduces down, which we have already,
Oh, wow.
the magic of TV, we're going to finish it with the butter sauce.
A butter. Oh, now that's my favorite. It's got to have a butter sauce.
So as you can see,
Yeah. Excellent.
this is almost down to a glaze with the shallots. And you need to have it on high heat, believe it or not. and you start with 1 butter, just to get it. It's called an emulsification sauce. There's no egg yolks, there's no flour, there's no farinaceous products or binding. It's just technique.
Okay.
The only way to learn it is to see it and do it. So now you got 1 chip, 2 chips, 3 chips, and you keep on increasing the volume.
It melts pretty quickly because you've got that pan pretty hot.
Again, you want it hot. You just don't want it to come to a boil. You don't want it to slow down.
Excellent.
The only thing missing,
Salt.
and
Pepper. White pepper.
Turbo pepper.
Turbo pepper. There we go. Turbo pepper. We're gonna have to
Okay.
remember that, there,
You're
Kenneth.
loving me now.
I'm loving you now, man.
Loving me
we're
now.
like we're loving the pepper. Okay. All right.
So as soon as this gets emulsified,
Emulsified.
yeah, and to temperature, you have to keep it at that temperature.
Uh-oh.
This is why you only see it in restaurants primarily, because it's considered a restaurant sauce.
Right.
Because who has, just like in hollandaise, who has that perfect sweet spot,
Right.
heat-wise?
Right.
If you put it on a burner, it'll break.
Right.
If you put it in the counter, it gets too cold, and it turns back into solid butter, and it breaks.
Okay, so we got to keep that at the same temperature,
Or use it right away.
or use it right away.
Which is what we're going to do, because
Okay.
we're hungry.
Right. You've got lobster and bass in front of me here, man, and there's some, like, I love fish and I love lobster.
It smells good.
So it's emulsified.
So you get it ready?
It's
So it's
emulsified. right?
emulsified now.
Okay. We're gonna sift it, right? All right. There we go.
We call this passing.
Pissing. Okay.
Passing. Like a passoir.
Okay.
Passing.
A pessoir.
Yeah, this is a miniature version of what they would call a chinois or
Okay.
a passoir.
All right.
And there's your finished sauce in there.
Awesome.
Okay? So now, we're going to get ready for service. So first, put the sauce down. Doesn't have to be a lot if it isn't all the way around, because you don't want it to be swimming.
Okay.
And here's your artist area where you can do whatever you want on the plate. Whoa,
Oh, look at that.
easy enough. Finished product. You put it on, you need to have it on the paper so that it doesn't stick to what you've cooked it on.
Wow. Look at that. That's an amazing presentation. So we're calling this Newport Wellington. And you're going to be serving this at the Black Pearl.
We will.
Okay. And so make sure you go on to the
In
Black
the
Pearl.
Commodore's room.
In the Commodore's room. Ask for the Newport RI Newport Wellington. This is Cooking with Newport RI.